All right, so you're getting ready for your Year 9 IMC exit project. Huge. And you know what they say, big projects mean big leadership challenges. But hey, no worries. We're doing a deep dive today into leadership skills to help you totally ace it.
It's funny how we think about leadership. Like it's this big, almost superhuman thing. But honestly, when we're talking about a project like yours, it comes down to skills. Learnable skills that you can use right away.
That makes me feel better. Superhuman is a little intimidating. We've got all these expert insights on what makes a great leader, especially for a project like yours. It's like, I don't know, a secret guide to being a better leader. So first, what are the experts saying about what makes a great leader?
Well, one thing that always comes up is honesty and integrity. It seems basic, but think about it. You're working with classmates, teachers are watching, and your reputation is at stake if you lead with integrity. You know, being honest, fair with decisions, consistent in what you do, you build trust, and trust is the foundation of any team.
Right. Absolutely. Especially during the IMC, it can be pretty intense. If your team knows they can trust you, they'll be more open with ideas and really contribute to the project. Speaking of ideas, good communication is another thing the experts talk about a lot. Seems pretty obvious. But what does that look like for a Year 9 project?
All right, picture this. You're dividing up tasks for your project, but you're not clear about deadlines or roles or what success even means for each part. Things can fall apart quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Clear communication, it gets rid of those misunderstandings, keeps everyone on the same page, and helps you avoid those last-minute scrambles.
So it's not just about saying what needs to be done. It's about making sure everyone knows how to do it. Makes sense. But what about when things go wrong? Because let's be real, something always happens with these big projects. What do the experts say about dealing with those unexpected issues?
That's where adaptability and resilience come in. Seriously, these are like golden qualities for your project.
Yeah, with tight deadlines and so many moving pieces.
Exactly. Think of resilience as your ability to bounce back. Like if a teammate gets sick, or you have technical problems, or the project requirements change. A resilient leader doesn't freak out. They take a minute, look at the situation, change the plan, and keep the team motivated.
It's like the show must go on, but without panicking everyone. So those times when things go wrong, they can actually be chances to practice leadership. So we've got honesty, communication, resilience, all super important. But what about that extra something, that thing that makes a leader really stand out in a project like the IMC?
One thing the experts really emphasize is emotional intelligence. It's about knowing your own emotions and how they affect others, and being able to understand how your team is feeling. For example, let's say your group hits a major setback in the project. You're probably feeling stressed as the leader, maybe frustrated, but if you let those emotions control you, it can negatively impact the whole team.
Right. No one wants a stressed out leader when things are already difficult. So how does emotional intelligence help in that situation?
It's about taking a breath, recognizing your feelings, but not letting them control your actions. It's about staying calm and in control, even when you're feeling the pressure. This lets you see the situation clearly, communicate calmly with your team, and find solutions together. It's also about noticing how your teammates are feeling. Is someone feeling overwhelmed or discouraged? A little encouragement. Adjusting workloads, or even just acknowledging their feelings can make a huge difference in how the team feels and ultimately how successful the project is.
So you're like an anchor for the team, even when things get rough. I'm starting to see how these skills, like emotional intelligence, could be really powerful when you're leading a project like this, especially for Year 9 IMC. Okay, so we've talked about some really important leadership qualities, but how do we actually use them? It's like we need a toolkit for leadership, specifically for Year 9 and the IMC project.
Well, lucky for you, the experts have given us some practical tips, and the cool thing is you can start using them right now, even before the project starts.
Okay, I'm listening. What's the first tool in this leadership toolkit?
One of the most powerful tools is self-reflection. Take a little time. Think about your strengths and weaknesses as a leader. What comes naturally to you? Where do you struggle?
That's interesting. I've never thought about doing like a leadership self-assessment before. How would that help with a project?
It helps you focus on your strengths and figure out where you need to improve. For example, maybe you're really good at brainstorming and coming up with creative ideas. That's awesome. You can use that strength when you're planning your IMC project. But let's say you're not so good with time management. Knowing that weakness can help you come up with strategies, like using a project management app, or creating a detailed schedule with your team so you stay on track.
Knowing what could go wrong and having a plan to deal with it, I can see how that would make things less stressful and help the project go more smoothly. What else do the experts recommend?
They say it's important to ask for feedback, and I don't just mean waiting for your teacher to give you comments at the end. Ask your teammates for feedback, your friends, even family members. Ask them what they think about your leadership style, what's working well, and what you could do better.
So even though feedback can be hard to hear sometimes, it's actually one of the best ways to become a better leader.
Exactly. It's easy to just listen to people who agree with us. But honest feedback, even if it's not positive, helps us see things we might be missing and things that might be holding us back. Remember, this is your chance to really improve your leadership skills, so use these opportunities to learn.
Okay? Feedback noted. I'm definitely going to ask my teammates for their honest opinions. What other practical tips can we add to our toolkit?
Delegation is a big one. This is a skill that can really make or break a group project. And before you say it, delegation doesn't mean giving all the work to your teammates while you relax. It's about giving people tasks that match their strengths and interests.
Okay, so if someone in my group is good at research, maybe they take the lead on finding information for the project. Or if someone is good with technology, they can work on the presentation design or video editing.
Exactly. When you delegate effectively, you give your team members a chance to shine. It also gives you more time as the leader to focus on the bigger picture, like managing the project, communicating with the teacher, and making sure everyone is on track.
Delegating also shows your team that you trust them and that you value their contributions. That's got to be a good thing for morale.
It absolutely is. And when morale is high, people are more engaged, more productive, and they're more likely to put in extra effort. But remember, delegation isn't just about giving someone a task and forgetting about it. You still need to give guidance, offer support, and check in to make sure things are going well.
So it's about finding a balance between giving people freedom to work independently and still giving them the support they need to succeed. Makes sense. Okay. We've talked about self-reflection, feedback, and delegation. Any other essential tools for our leadership arsenal?
One of the most powerful and often overlooked tools is leading by example. It's like the saying, actions speak louder than words. If you want your team to be dedicated, hardworking, and respectful, you need to show them how it's done.
Okay, I see how that applies to work ethic. If I'm procrastinating and not doing my part, my team probably won't feel motivated either. But how does leading by example work with things like respect or communication?
It's about setting the standard for the whole group. If you really listen to your teammates' ideas, give helpful feedback, and show respect for their opinions, even when you disagree, you're showing them how to communicate and collaborate. If you're excited about the project and passionate about the topic, that energy can spread to everyone.
So it's not just about telling people what to do. It's about showing them how it's done. That makes sense. Okay, we've got a pretty good toolkit now. Self-reflection, feedback, delegation, and leading by example. I'm already feeling more confident about this IMC project.
That's great to hear. And remember, these aren't just tools for this project. They're skills you can use throughout your life, in any leadership role you have.
So this Year 9 project, it's like leadership training, where we can try out these tools and see what works best for us. But these skills go beyond the classroom, right? They'll be important for jobs, volunteering, even relationships.
Exactly. And that leads us to the last piece, unlocking your leadership potential. Because here's the thing, everyone has the potential to be a great leader.
I love that. It's like we all have this inner leader just waiting to be discovered.
That's a great way to put it. And sometimes it's just about recognizing the signs and helping that potential grow.
Okay, so how do we know if we have this leadership potential? Are there any signs? Or do we just have to, like, feel it?
It's not magic, but there are some things to look for. One of the biggest signs is being willing to get feedback. And I don't just mean hearing good things about yourself. I mean really wanting to know what people think, even if it shows you areas where you need to improve.
So it's not enough to just say, yeah, I'm open to feedback. You have to actually want to know what people think, even if it's not easy to hear.
Exactly. Leaders who are serious about growing, they understand that feedback is valuable, even when it's tough. It helps them see themselves more clearly, find their blind spots, and become better leaders. And this connects to another important sign, self-awareness.
Okay, self-awareness, what does that look like? Especially for leading a Year 9 project.
It's about knowing your strengths and weaknesses and understanding how your actions affect others. It's about being able to step back and look at yourself, almost like you're watching a movie of your own leadership style. And this might sound weird, but leaders who are self-aware, they're okay with admitting they don't know everything. They're not afraid to ask for help, delegate tasks to people who are experts, and learn from their mistakes.
That makes sense. When I think about group projects I've done in, the best leaders were always the ones who were honest about what they didn't know. It made them seem more relatable.
Exactly, and that makes people trust them more and feel comfortable communicating openly. Another sign of leadership potential is genuinely caring about relationships, not just to get something, but because they're important.
I could see how that's super important for the Year 9 IMC. It's not like you're working with strangers. These are your friends and classmates. Having good relationships probably makes the whole project more fun, even when things get stressful.
Absolutely. Leaders who care about relationships, they make an effort to connect with their team members. They want to know their ideas, their concerns, their goals. They create an environment where everyone feels heard, valued, and respected. And this isn't just about being nice. It's about understanding that teams work best when there's trust and support.
So it's not just about getting the work done. It's about making sure everyone feels good about contributing. I think this focus on relationships might be one of the keys to a successful Year 9 project, and maybe even to success in life after school.
It's definitely a key ingredient. And lastly, one of the most important signs of leadership potential, especially for something like the Year 9 IMC, is being able to adapt to change. Because, let's be honest, things don't always go as planned.
Oh, I know. Last year, our group had to completely redo our presentation the day before it was due because of a technical problem. It was crazy, but we somehow managed to do it. Looking back, I think being able to stay calm and adapt to that unexpected challenge was really important for our team.
That's a great example. Leaders who can go with the flow, adjust their plans, and stay positive, even when things are difficult, they're super valuable to their teams. They don't get stuck on what should have happened. They focus on finding solutions and moving forward.
So it's not about avoiding challenges. It's about using them to learn and grow and to show off our leadership skills. This Year 9 project sounds like amazing leadership training.
It is, and as you start working on this project, remember this. Leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about always trying to improve. Embrace the challenges, learn from what happens, and celebrate the successes, both yours and your team's.
And most importantly, don't forget to have fun. Leading a team to do something awesome should be enjoyable and rewarding. This deep dive has been so helpful. I feel so much more ready to be a leader for my Year 9 project. I'm actually kind of excited now.
That's great to hear. Remember, this is just the start of your leadership journey. The skills you learn during this project will help you in so many ways.
So to everyone listening who's getting ready for their Year 9 project, you got this. Embrace the challenge. Find your inner leader and make this project the best it can be. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.